Hello and welcome to Run Testers. My name's Nick and this is our full review of the JBL Endurance Race 2 headphones. So the Endurance Race 2 are in-ear headphones that are designed primarily for sport. They're pretty good value headphones, costing just under 70 quid in the UK and just under $80 in the US. Just gone on sale in the US. They seem to have been available for a little while in the UK and actually seem to already be dropping in price to around £60. So certainly a lot cheaper than the top in-ear sports headphones out there. And you're still getting quite a rich feature set with stuff like active noise cancellation and an ambient aware mode, really good battery life, all that kind of thing. You've also got an impressive IP rating on the buds, which are IP68 rated, so they're water and dust proof, so you should have no concerns with them when it comes to your workouts. Case itself is IPX2 rated, which is not that high. Probably okay to take with you on your runs, but generally IPX4 is what I look for in terms of sweat proofing, at least on headphones and their cases. So like I say, there are in-ear buds that come with one size of silicone wing, or you can take that off and just have a kind of silicone covering for the buds, and then there's three sizes of in-ear tip. If you're going to use them for running, I'd certainly suggest using that wing, which is very good. You put the headphones into your ear by twisting them into place, and that creates a really secure fit. I found that throughout my runs, I've been using them pretty much daily for the last few weeks, and also for cycles and strength sessions. And yeah, the fit of the headphones is certainly one of their strongest features. They stay in place, very reliable on the run. I very rarely have to adjust them at all. As long as you've got that little wing flap inserted under the top bit of your ear there, they will stay in place, even if you get very sweaty and hot on the runs. So that's the main thing you're looking for with sports headphones in terms of fit, but it's also a very comfortable fit. You can wear these headphones for long stretches during and outside your runs, and they don't irritate the ear. Often with in-ear headphones with wings, I do find they can start to irritate my ears after a while, and I want to take them out, but that hasn't really been the case here. It's a nice soft silicone wing, so certainly a very impressive fit all round. Controls on the buds are touch panels, which are never my favourite kind of controls to use for sports. It's just hard to reliably hit touch panels on the run, I find, with sweaty fingers, and compared to a button, they're also a lot less usable during the winter when you might well be wearing gloves or something like that. So you do get a little beep from the buds to register that you have touched them, which is quite handy because often if you leave them for a while and then touch them, that first control will go unnoticed by the buds. So it's good to have that beep as confirmation so you can then click again if you haven't heard it. You can customize the controls in the partner app, and these are grouped into three different sets. So one is volume controls, one is playback controls, and one is the ambient controls. So I've got one bud in the ambient noise controls, so I can switch between ANC and the aware mode without opening up the app. I've got the other side is the playback controls, so I can play, pause music. Now this does mean you can't have those two controls and volume control at the same time, which you can on lots of headphones, which is slightly annoying, but other than that, the controls are okay. They have worked pretty well for general use. Just like I say, on the run, touch panels aren't the most reliable. These are quite big and they work okay, but I prefer a physical button. So when it comes to sound quality, obviously these are buds at the cheaper end of the spectrum, and you do lose out a little bit compared to high-end ones that cost more like £180, £200. But I would say the sound quality is really good. I don't think there's anything at this price that I'd say outperforms the JBL Endurance Race 2 on sound quality. It's enjoyable enough to use during and outside of your training for sure. Say compared to the best headphones on the market, for one, you don't get as much volume. They're oddly quiet sometimes on the run, I found, like to the point where it can be a little bit hard to hear podcasts, which is a bit odd. It's not something I've really come across with in-ear headphones before, but for the most part they certainly are loud enough, but you don't get, I think, quite as much clarity and depth, especially in the upper ranges compared to the best headphones out there. As always, we'll say that in this section we're not the big guys to go to for audio quality and reviews. There are certainly more specialised channels and publications out there. We're mostly focused on the running side of things, but yeah, they sounded pretty good to me. Notably not quite as good as something like the Bose QC earbuds, which cost well over £100, but certainly good enough for the price. And you can customize the EQ in the app. I've got a preset I use for all JBL headphones which bumps up the bass, which I think is worth doing with these headphones, because on the flat EQ setting it's not quite that punchy, the bass on these, but once you have ramped it up, you do get a nice full sound from that end of the spectrum. One thing I noticed, which is I guess kind of to do with sound quality, but not really, is so the thudding sound that you get when running or walking with in-ear headphones, which happens with lots of in-ear headphones, is very noticeable with these headphones, I'd say. Like on every run, even walking, you can hear the thudding of your footsteps, especially in ANC mode, but sometimes in the ambient mode as well. And this isn't something that really bothers me. I find I can just tune it out quite naturally, but I know that some people really don't like that. And you get it with lots of in-ear buds, but I think it is better on certain headphones. So like the Apple AirPods Pro 2 are very good on that, I find, and I did get it with the Endurance Race 2, so maybe something to look out for. Comes to the ANC and the Aware modes, this is a weak point for the JBL Endurance Race, as you often get with cheaper headphones. Like the ANC is just nowhere near the level you get from stuff like the Bose QC earbuds, the Apple AirPods 2, even the Beats Powerbeats Pro 2, which aren't amazing on ANC. You do get a lot more sound filtered out by them compared to these headphones. Like if you're traveling or using something like a treadmill or an exercise bike, it takes the edge off that sound for sure. It filters out a fair bit of it, but not as much as those other headphones. And then the Aware mode, the opposite is true. Like it doesn't actually filters out a bit too much on the run. Like with some of these transparency modes, I feel very comfortable wearing both headphones in my ears, even when I'm running alongside busy roads and that kind of thing, but not with these headphones. I don't think you get enough awareness of the stuff around you, especially in terms of traffic. You don't hear cars as clearly as you do with some other headphones, so I would take one out if you were worried about that kind of thing. You can adjust these settings in the app, especially if you use one of the dedicated sports modes, which is a good idea. They have in the partner app there where you can set up the sound profile for running mode, so you can choose the EQ. You can also choose the level of awareness you want or the level of ANC for certain sports, but changing these, the awareness and the active noise cancellation levels didn't really make a big difference to me. If I was sliding them up and down, it didn't really make a big difference. And also, I think it's quite annoying that you can't activate that running mode on the headphones itself by making it part of the controls, because every time I go for a run, I don't always want to find the app and activate it in there. But yeah, overall, this is a weaker area. There's not a lot of amazing active noise cancelling headphones available for £100. So this is a feature on them that will help a little bit when you're traveling, but I wouldn't expect miracles from it. And the Aware mode, actually, I would say is a little bit subpar, because some of JLab's cheaper headphones have really good Aware modes that you can use while running and really hear everything around you whilst also hearing your audio quite well. Moving on to battery life, and this is a strong point for the JBL Endurance Race headphones. So looking at the listed battery life, which I did find the headphones lived up to during my testing, the drain rates were always in line with what the stats were. You get up to 10 hours on a charge on the buds themselves. If you have the ANC turned on, you can extend that to 12 hours if you turn the ANC off. And then the case can bring the total battery life up to 48 hours. I think that's with the ANC off. So that will be reduced a little bit if you are using the ANC all the time. You also get a very impressive 4 hours of charge from just 10 minutes of charging if you're in a pinch and need the quick charge feature. And even if the buds are empty, JBA say they'll charge fully to 100% in 2 hours. Those are all pretty impressive stats, I'd say, for in-ear buds. You have got quite a large case here. It's not the most pocket-friendly case, so you'd expect maybe slightly bigger battery life from it. And the buds themselves are also actually quite large. They stick out a little bit from the ear, so a bit more room for battery life in there, but that room has been taken advantage of, and you have got really good battery life on these that should last you, for a lot of running before you have to plug in the case and recharge it. Verdict on the JBL Endurance Race 2 headphones. I say these are a really strong option, available for under £100 or $100, and actually well under that price, especially as they already seem to be in sales. And I think in the past, JBL headphones have been often seen in sales, so you might be able to get these at a really good price, and you're getting most of the features of really good headphones like the Bose QC earbuds or the Jabra Elite 8 Active Gen 2 buds, for a lot less, like under half the price. Now, you are going to lose out a little bit on sound quality. I'd say that's not a huge loss. I do think the sound quality on these is pretty good. You do lose out more on stuff like the ANC and the awareness mode, which are definitely better on those more expensive buds, but you're getting a really solid set of in-ear headphones with a very good fit in particular at a really good price. If you don't find that the fit works for you because it hasn't got an ear hook, then JLab have a couple of really good headphones available for under £100 with ear hooks. The main one being the JLab Epic Air ANC 3, which I've just started testing as well, which is a little bit more expensive than these, although again offered in sales, and you also get some ANC with those buds. Again, nothing to write home about compared to more expensive ANC, but pretty, but the feature is there. And there's also the JLab Go Sport Plus, which are much cheaper than these at around kind of £30 and don't have any kind of ANC, but do have a pretty good awareness mode and pretty solid sound quality for the price with an ear hook if you need that more secure fit. If you do want an upgrade in terms of sound quality and ANC, I would look at the Bose QC earbuds, which we reviewed on the channel recently as well. Now, their list price is like £170, £180, but they seem to be perennially reduced to around £130, and they have outstanding ANC, as good as buds that cost twice as much as that, and really good sound quality as well. And the fit's really nice on those, with a similar kind of in-ear wing design that hooks into the ear on the inside and is very comfortable as well, as you'd expect from Bose. So those are the buds I'd look at potentially if you do want to upgrade the sound quality while still having good sports headphones that work for lifestyle use as well. And then also I'd look at Jabra headphones. Now, Jabra is winding down its consumer headphones, and it's starting to become quite hard to find buds like the Elite 8 Active, but if you can find the Elite 4 or Elite 7 Active in the sales, I think they'd probably be going for well under £100 right now, and they're really excellent in-ear buds that have a great fit, pretty good sound, pretty good ANC. And even though Jabra is winding down that area, they are still going to exist as a company, and they should support those products, and those are really good headphones that you might be able to get at a very low price, as they are starting to appear in sales, if they do appear at all. But overall, the JBL Endurance Race 2 headphones did really impress me. Like I say, you're losing out a little bit in some areas, but in terms of their use for running, they've got a great fit, really long battery life, good sound quality, and all of that comes at a very reasonable price. So yeah, I was impressed with them during my testing. That's our review of the JBL Endurance Race 2 headphones. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, ring the little bell, and we'll see you next time.